I think for me, creativity was everything I felt, every emotion that I feel expressed outwardly.
I feel like the pain we experience is an invitation for the purpose we're here for. Because it only bothers us because we're called to fix it. It only hurts us because we know we can heal it.
It was a long journey to get to the place of like wholeness and feeling like, you know, people only want to use me or feel like they're coming to me because they need something out of me because of X, Y, and Z. The reason why you need a strategist on your team, because some people are like, I need a social media manager. That's a loaded kind of title. You need an editor, a videographer, a lighting person, an audio person, a copywriter, someone to publish on social media and distribute all your stuff. You're bottlenecking and you're actually causing burnout for your teams. Why did they stop getting passionate about what you care about? You're using them instead of seeing them and giving them the resources to thrive and succeed in their craft. Or the financial part is like you haven't actually set things up for success so that they could succeed at what they do because they have a unique superpower too. Know that you are designed by God and that you have a mission and assignment here on earth. And it is your job to find out what that is.
How do you get people to be honest about where they actually are?
The way I do it is number one.
Hey, yo, welcome to the Seeding Greatness podcast. I'm your host, Darryll Stinson, man. Whoa. When I say you better get your pen, your pad out, when I say you better already save this episode because I already feel what it's getting ready to be, we're talking to one of the greatest storytellers of our time, brand extraordinaire. Would you call yourself a content factory? a visionary and an executor, a left and a right brain, Mexicano and he's all things, man. This dude is a beast. He's been around for a long time. Been doing it since what age?
Man, I was born in 87, so since 87.
87. Golly. He means it. But like legit, bro. When did you start tinkering around?
98.
98? With what?
With a VHS camcorder I found in my dad's closet.
Ooh, nasty.
Yeah, those JVCs, those big lugs.
Nasty. What would you do? What'd you make?
I would make skateboarding videos with my friends.
Dude. Okay. Yeah. So forget it. Let's just keep going. Tell us a story, bro. Like who you are.
Who am I?
And because to me, here's one of my beliefs. I believe we come into this world fully functional and ready for our purpose. Jeremiah says, I knew you before I formed you and I ordained you to be a prophet unto the nations. And so he already knew he was going to be a prophet before the formation happened.
Yep.
Okay, so he knew John, in my opinion, you don't have to agree with this, but he knew you before he formed you. Yeah. And so he formed that purpose, that storyteller, that craziness, that hairstyle on the inside, and then he sent you here. Yeah. So I totally believe that the stuff we did innately when we were children is some of the highest levels of awareness. It's the best gift test you can ever take. It's the best personality assessment you can ever take. It's who you were naturally were before the world screwed you. Okay, so
hey, that's the truth, though. That's the truth, though.
So, anyways, come on, man.
Yeah, brother. I mean, I love that because it's like childlike, you know, and like we're just adults, you know, that have this innate design that, like you said, before I was even in my mother's womb. And the thing that, you know, about my story, super unique because I was adopted as a baby, but I didn't find out till I was 8 years old. And then I wrestled with that for a while. To a point where like I grew up in a healthy home, dude. I love my parents, and they raised me right, dude. I grew up in a Christian home. I went to church like 5 times a week, you know, but I still struggled because identity. I struggled because of value.
What do you mean by that? What did you feel like you weren't being seen as? Because for me, it was like, I had a creative side, but I lived in the hood, so I couldn't be creative. So I guess I was like, I didn't feel like I was feeling I was suppressed. So what was that for you?
My struggle was like, I was creative the day I came out the womb. Like I just felt creative. Like my first words were content, you know? I just felt like.
Was that true?
Probably. You could ask me. I probably have a VHS tape of me saying content, you know? But the idea, my struggle when it comes to identity and value was purpose. Because when I found out I was adopted, I didn't know what that meant. But as I grew older, I was like, wait a minute. So I'm not supposed to be here.
How'd you find out
I was,
you was adopted?
It was a wild story. So like my cousin, so we had a family kind of gathering, and in Filipino families and cultures, I got cousins I'd never even met. I don't even know exist, right? But when we had a family gathering, I was just chilling. I was 8 years old watching, I think it was like Goosebumps or some Nickelodeon show, all that maybe. And then my cousin walks in. She goes like, "Hey, I just want to let you know that you're adopted." I'm like, "Wow, what? What does that even mean? Adopted?" Like, she's like, "Yeah, you're adopted. I had to tell you because you have an adopted sister." I was like, "I'm the only child in my family. Like, I didn't grow up with a sister. I didn't grow up with other siblings in my family." She's like, "No, you have an adopted sister. I had to tell you because she's here right now." And I was like, "What do you even mean?" So that kind of like rocked my world. I like almost was like, my whole world shook. Like, what do you mean I have an adopted sister? I'm just finding this stuff out because my parents, just living in an Asian home, we don't communicate. We don't like, it's just like, it's a performance kind of thing, So like, hey, you go to school, you get good grades, B stands for bad. Don't get a B, stick with A's, So like, that was like shaping my world. And when it was rock like that, I was like, okay, what do you mean I have it? What else do I not know? What other secrets are hidden about me? And then as I found out what adoption means, it's like, oh, so like I have biological parents that didn't want me. And so like I had to be adopted so that people could take care of me. But I had to realize that adoption was actually a beautiful, godly thing because in the Bible, it tells us that we've been adopted. And that changed my whole perspective. But I didn't get there until I was a teenager, right? So like my identity was shook because I was like, I'm a whoops. I labeled myself whoops, a mistake. I'm not supposed to be here. I'm not, I wasn't, like I was just like, okay, I was a mistake in life. And I just nothing's everything's meaningless, whatever I do, it doesn't count because everybody else, and I was the oddball in the family. I was a black sheep in my family. All my cousins wanted to be like lawyers, doctors, nurses. They want to work for the DMV for some reason. I don't know. Dude, listen, I always told people, I'm like, I was either designed to be a male man or a male nurse. Because I'm Filipino and like job security, you work all your life.
Wow.
And at the end of it, you retire and you could do whatever you want when you retire. But the thing that I struggled with because I was adopted, because I felt like, I'm only here for a borrowed time. I'm like, how do I know I'm going to be alive tomorrow?
Yeah.
To retire at 55, 65.
Right.
And then live my rest. And how do I know that my physique is going to hold me till then and be like, I'm good to travel now. I could see the world now. I'm like, that sounded like a waste of time to me. It didn't make any sense to work all my life, pay taxes and die, or just come to the end of it and be like, now you could do what you want. And it just didn't make sense to me. So like my issue was like, as I was growing up and learning, I love my parents. The thing is they never shared with me who my real parents were because they were afraid. And it didn't come from a place of like, I'd never hated that. Like I never had anything against them. I knew it was coming from a place of love because they were trying to protect me. But that also instilled some fear. That also instilled some doubt in me growing up where I had to figure out like, all right, why am I here? So I drew towards creativity because I was like, wait, if I could create something out of nothing, that means I have purpose. If I could contribute in some way, that means that I'm valuable. That means that I things that didn't exist now exist because I chose to create something. And I found so much value and fulfillment in creativity. And actually creativity is the one thing that really saved my childhood, saved my life to express.
What do you, when you say creativity, like what do you mean by that? What's your definition of creativity? Like, like, and more like how I would want to hear it is kind of like at that age in your life, like, because like at what stage and how would that version have described it? Did you say like, oh, creativity, or was it like, man, let me learn this video because I feel like I get lost in this world? What zone do you go into when you create content? When did it start for you?
But it started for me, I think it was influence from TV and movies.
Okay.
And music was a huge one. Like
Okay.
I play instruments. I grew up, like in church. I saw them on the worship team. I was like, I want to be up there. I think for me, creativity was everything I felt, every emotion that I feel expressed outwardly. Whether it was writing, whether it was recording music. I used to write a lot of emo music because I was such a punk rock kid. Like, because I didn't know how to I was the worst communicator up until my third, fifth year of being married. And like, because in an Asian home, you don't communicate or you're not allowed to express yourself. You're just do what you're told. Don't ask questions and just follow the rules, like don't stand out, basically, like don't be on the curve. Like don't do anything to, to ruffle anything up. So like my childhood was basically suppressing all the expression, all that creativity that was living inside of me that I felt I was designed to do. But the wrestle was the process of knowing that I can express myself in many different ways, even though I don't know how to communicate those things yet. And that was music for me. That was being behind a camera for me. That was taking a photo and capturing that one moment and holding that picture up, going in the dark room and doing all the things and be like, I can't believe I made this and I captured this one moment for this one time. And I could trace it back to a memory of like, oh, that was a fun thing. And it brought me so much joy and fulfillment when other people could experience that. So for me, creativity was a shared experience. It was a community experience. It was like, wow, I created this thing and someone watched it. And the best thing for a creative when it comes to even making content is how people respond to it, whether it's positive or negative, because you've moved the emotional needle from one place to another.
But how do you separate that from like the toxic need to be liked or always looking for comments,
Oh, absolutely. It's a whole self-awareness thing. I had to, like, for the longest time, I struggled with being a people pleaser because I wanted to please my parents. I wanted to please my boss. I want to please my teachers. I want to please all these people. So it was very toxic, very, very toxic. And then I had to recognize that if I'm not whole, if I'm not doing it because I love to do it, it shouldn't matter, because pleasing people, that's a vicious cycle, especially as a creative, because that's where your value comes from. But if you don't know who you are, whose you are, your identity as a son, as a daughter, then you're just going to keep on trying to chase the pleasure of pleasing people all the time. And the thing that woke me up was beginning to know whose I was and my identity that's found in Christ and my identity that's found with my creator. And then that started shifting of like, this is what I designed you to do. This is who you are. What other people are putting on you, that's not your identity. That is not your value. The thing that you make people feel from what you're doing with your hands, that's not it. And he had to shake my world up. Right. I had to put a mirror up, and God had to work. Like, it was a long journey to get to the place of like wholeness and feeling like, people only want to use me or feel like they're coming to me because they need something out of me because of X, Y, and Z. And that was a hard wrestle, especially as a new creative or like someone that runs a business, or, people just see people as a thing they could use instead of a person they could love.
Yeah.
Right.
See the gift and not the person. Yeah.
And I had to recognize the human nature and separate those things of like, oh, it's actually not them. I have to wrestle here first. I have to know who I am first. I have to know that I'm fully loved, fully known, fully seen, fully heard, and fully designed by an amazing creator that has good things for my life. And then the hard thing is, you could say that, but do you accept it? Do you walk in it? Do you actually know it, or do you just hear it? Like, I heard that before. That's like buzzwords to me, So some people, they don't actually know that,
Woo! Man, this is so good, man. Listen, if you are just watching and you're finally catching in, I know you feel the energy, man. We're going deep into John's story. creative brand architects, content factory, all the things. Man, there's so much stuff I want to dive into. One of the things you mentioned that was so freaking powerful was like you said, I had two options as a Filipino, male man or male nurse.
Yeah.
And I was like, yo, it's crazy. I think that's a great point for the audience to self-reflect of like, what were your options growing up? And not just what were your options growing up, but what are your options now? And are you still living with a level of those limitations?
Yeah.
And so very good. I'm not gonna go there though. Next episode. And bro, creativity is everything I feel internally being expressed. That's so nasty. I almost shouted when you said it. That was so good. Just I always give my guy Rick the Wealth Coach some props. I got hit the percolator.
Hey.
Oh, it's time for the percolator. Oh, that was dessert. That was nasty.
Hey.
And man, such a beautiful, and I knew it was in there.
Yeah.
I have my own version of that.
Sure.
Because our pain often, I feel like the pain we experience is an invitation for the purpose we're here for. Because it only bothers us because we're called to fix it.
Yeah.
It only hurts us because we know we can heal it.
Yeah.
Yeah. It only agitates us because we're supposed to put our hands on it and influence it in some way. And so I feel like that impulse is it's that frustration is often an invitation to create a lot of times.
Yeah. Very true.
So heard a lot of that in your story.
Yeah.
And your painful areas from, the adoption, and your painful areas from not really knowing or having purpose,
right?
Turning into these massive creative outlets.
Yes. Yeah.
And this love to help people to experience the same, sense of belonging and connection that you longed for inside. Yeah. So that was awesome. And then one last note there too, how people respond to you is the greatest gift.
Yeah.
And I don't even know if people, there's probably only a small percentage of people who can probably handle the nuance of this thought. But like, to be able to go from people pleasing and still like leverage people's opinions to create better content and make a bigger impact in humanity is a healing process.
Oh yeah.
It is.
Yeah.
Like it's subtle. If people are like, "What you're talking about? What?" It's fine. It's fine. Focus on the stuff that you did understand. But for the people who are like, "Yeah, we get you, bro," like that is a thing.
Yeah.
Because there's some areas of our life where when we've been wounded, where it's hard to trust again.
Yeah.
Where we've been broken, where we like, man, I can't pay attention to the likes because then I'm gonna get in people pleasing again. And then we miss out on the impact that we could have by making the pivots from the like, because we're not healed enough to look at it and be in the world, but not of the world. I said it.
Hey,
come on, man. And so that is
church right now.
bro. Yes, we are. We are the church.
We are the church, man.
You the church.
That's right.
You can see the handwriting of God on your life.
Yeah.
He's done it in you.
Yeah.
So that's beautiful, man.
Yeah, man.
Woo. Okay. So what I actually want to do is I just want you to teach us, bro. Like there's so many people that are listening to us that follow me and you because they want you to do content, me to do speaking. They want to get their message out there to the world.
Yes, they do.
And so, bro, just teach them. Teach us. Teach me.
Yeah.
What's the steps to get our message out there in a powerful way? How do we set ourselves apart? And what is, tell us what people are not telling us right now. You know what I mean? Like,
okay.
Yeah.
So here's the thing. If you have a desire, or you know that you know in your knower that you've been designed to create impact and create influence and take care of your family, live a life of freedom, the thing about it is it takes longer than people think. If you're not in this for a decade, if you're not in this to be like, yo, what's 10 years down the road look like, 20 years down the road look like, you're going to compromise for quick wins. You're gonna compromise your uniqueness because you're trying to fit in, because you see what everybody else is doing and you hit the comparison button. You know, oh, they're doing it like that, I got to do it like that because they're seeing success and they see this, and that's I aspired to be that person on stage. I aspired to launch that podcast. I aspired to have all these followers, and those are good ambitions, but godly ambitions are, what did God set you apart for? What did he design you to do? No one has your story. And here's the thing, no one can be like the other person, because if you just hold out your hand and hold out your thumb and you look at your thumb and you look, and then you start seeing all these like these little things in here, and you're like, you know what? The big idea is not, there's 8 billion people on the planet. Not one other person has the same fingerprint. You know what I mean?
I say the same thing.
Come on. Not one other person has the same. So what does that tell me as a creative or just as a human being? Nobody has your story.
Yeah.
And the only person that could tell it is you. Right? And these things that we call social media and content, those are just tools. And I think people they praise the wrong thing. They're like, oh, what camera should I get? Oh, what thing do I got to do? Well, tell me this, the content calendar that I need to apply and strategies that I need to apply to blow up, but instead of that, those are just visual pains. Like those are just visual symptoms to the real problems. And the problem that I see people face every day, that I talk to every day is, well, I have a story. I know I do. And you're either going to be, I've put people in 2 categories, right? You're either an expert at your craft because you've been doing it for so long through your experience, or you're on the journey or on the way, right? And those 2, you could build brands from those 2. Right?
Okay. So you said one is the expert, and then the other is what? Like you got to put the work.
You're a student. you're a student, right?
Man, okay. Really, I want to keep following this train of thought, but just really just for I gotta scratch this itch.
Yeah.
How do you get people to be honest about where they actually are?
Oh man. Well, okay. The way I do it is, number 1, brutal honesty.
You just tell them?
I literally, not that I tell them. I ask a lot of questions. I ask a lot of questions.
John's just like, it's terrible.
No, because here's the thing. Here's the thing.
Can you just tell me? Can you tell me an example, or is it too much confidentiality? Can you tell me one example of a time where somebody thought they was ready and you had to tell them that they weren't?
Yes.
Ooh, tell us that.
Yeah, bro. I get these people all the time.
Yeah.
For example, I'm just gonna be generic about it because this is a category. So people that are like, I know I need to make more content online.
I actually want to hear a specific story. Is that selfish?
No, I'll tell you a specific story.
Please. Yeah. I do want to hear a specific story.
I'll change their name.
Okay, you can do that.
You want to change their name?
Yeah. You don't have to throw anybody under the bus.
All right. So,
and if you do, I'll tell them to edit it.
I'll just call this dude Jerry.
Okay, Jerry.
All right. So Jerry came to me years ago, and he's like, "Man, I know I need to blow up online. Okay. He wants to speak on stages. He wants to build that brand. He saw Gary Vee doing it, and he's like, oh man, what's he doing? And I feel like, I also want to make an income, I want my business to grow, all that stuff. I need leads. The biggest problem and issue was sales, and leads. I need leads. What? So, and then everybody was using this buzzwords of building your personal brand. And that was a really challenging. And I had to sit down with them and be like, look, bro, number 1, why? Right? I think that's the first question you should ask is why.
Okay.
Why do you feel the desire to, right? What is the purpose of why you think social media or content is going to answer the question?
Okay.
Right. And
you already helped me because I immediately don't ask why. I just go, nope.
Yeah. but it's true. Because that's the first question I asked. Why do you think this is? Because here's the thing. Along the journey, someone convinced them that they needed to do something.
Told them to dumb. Where's the TEDx?
Worst advice.
TEDx
right.
TEDx gonna do it.
Look, I'm not, I could just predict how many DMs and calls and things that you get saying, put me on TEDx.
it is immeasurable. And when I put out a call application for 1 year, I got 1,000. And somebody hearing this is like, that's not a lot.
Yeah.
But when you understand, I didn't have that much. I didn't have a lot of influence, because I don't. Influence is not followers,
Right?
It's people who will actually respond to you.
Yes.
Okay?
Yeah.
Because I know people who got like 1.8 million, and I invited them to be on my stage, or I was on their podcast thinking I was about to blow up.
Nope.
And I'm telling you, I was like, how did 1.8 million people hear me? And nobody at least
Not
say
one
I'm
person.
offended.
Not one person.
You lied to me. I thought it was gonna blow up. I
Yeah.
wore my best stuff. I spent money. I didn't have one. Shoes I couldn't afford. And I got on there and I was practicing and my hands were sweaty. And you lied to me. You bought the influence. Oh my gosh. Okay.
Yeah. No, I get that, bro.
Sorry, I'm gonna bring us back on track because we're the audience. There's some detailed person watching this that's like, Darryll, stop messing it up. So I am jerking you around a little bit. Thank you, because you're an expert.
Yeah.
I'm gonna bring you back.
Yeah.
Number one, I put it in this whole thing that you're saying about the long game.
Yeah, sure.
I put it as know your purpose, your identity, who you are. It's like that's a phase.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, it is a phase.
Then I'm like, at that point, then now you're like, okay, cool, expert or student. Okay, because it's a total different path from expert versus student.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm just gonna say students. There's so much content out there for students. Let's talk to experts. Okay, so on the expert path, if that's the fork in the road and they go there, what's next?
Okay, so if we're talking to an expert,
let's talk experts.
I talk to people that think they're experts, which is great. The thing is,
no. Talk to people who are actually experts.
So I say they think they're experts because they only know they're the expert. Let me say that again. People that think they're experts, which they could be, like they have 20 years of experience doing the same thing and they get right. But here's the thing. If no one knows that you're the expert, you're not the expert. It's about being known. That's the game, right? I'm sorry. Did I say that too loud? For the people in the back. No one knows you're the expert.
But they should know. They should be finding us.
Right. It's not a game of like, here's the thing. It's a category that I said, I trust you, bro. Sure. I trust you. You say you're the thing?
Yeah.
Cool. Yeah. You haven't showed me that. You haven't demonstrated to me why you're the expert. There's no trust there. I don't know you as the expert. I'm just trusting your word. And that's a huge gap. That's a chasm of me having to trust that you say who you are, and how many people come to you that say there's something, and then you like with a few conversations, you're like, you obviously are not, because if you were, you would have got the basic 101 foundations of being knowing what you do, right?
Yep.
And you could tell real quick, really fast.
I know
if someone,
I know, bro, and I would almost say I get more of those than not, and I don't, man, come on, I got clients that I will put in that category, So I don't mean that in a lesser way, because my whole belief, and I believe you share this, is why you're on the podcast. Humanity flourishes when it functions as God designs.
Amen. Yeah.
You with me?
It's true.
Okay. Humanity flourishes when it functions as God designs. Nature functions and flourishes when it functions as God designs.
Yeah.
And so if something's off, if there's chaos, if there's worry, if there's angst, if there's lack, if there's hunger, if there's suffering of any kind, it is not because of the government. It is not because of people.
Right.
I don't know why people say that. We're all people.
Yeah.
It is because there are individuals who are refusing to be who they are.
Here's the thing, though, when you said that, there's this saying, I don't know if you heard it before, but whatever you complain the most about is the thing that controls you. If it's, I complain about people, I complain about God, I complain about the politics, I complain about the community, I complain, whatever it is that you're placing blame on, that's the actual thing that, and you have to grow up a little bit and be like, I could only control my actions and my belief system and my mindset.
Yes.
What am I gonna do? Because that's when you start activating your purpose the way you're designed, and you start changing course instead of pointing it somewhere else and just falling a victim to this is what's happening to me. Like, listen, I was adopted. And when I grew up, I felt like I wasn't supposed to be here. I could have literally blamed everything, be like, I didn't choose this. I didn't choose to be born at this time and go through this circumstance and go through. But here's the thing. God placed you and God put you there. God designed you and he gives you every single breath. And until your last breath, you're designed on purpose, for his glory, and to create impact in the world around you. And what he's given you, you don't control the success in your life. You actually, you are successful because he's designed you to be successful. You know, whatever that means to you, right? Success could be like, yo, I have time and freedom to spend with my family, and I don't have to be on a phone, and I don't gotta be this, I don't gotta do this. That's freedom, right? But if you didn't know that, if you're not aware of that, then you're gonna fall to be a victim of all the circumstances around you and be like, well, because I didn't grow up in a rich home, or I didn't do this, I didn't have a chance or opportunity like these other people have, it's not fair. Then you start playing the comparison game. And you can't do that because that's the dead end. That only leads to fear, hate, doubt, lack of confidence, and knowing that you actually have the power to start shifting and changing the generational curses on your life and being like, no, it's going to stop with me, and I'm going to start creating this life and creating what I care about the most. So,
man, y'all, whatever you complain about the most controls you. You got to know your purpose, identity. You got to think about this from the long game perspective as you're considering stepping into this industry. And even if you're in it and you've been in it for a while, but maybe you've been in it for so long from the hustle side and you've just been like figuring it out on the go, and you haven't stepped aside long enough to be like, man, what am I doing here? Let me get everything on a flip chart. Let me get everything on a board. Let me map some stuff out, and let me take a weekend away and just be with God to see like, what am I doing? What am I creating? Why am I putting out all this content? Am I ask people, I tell people, are you feeding the algorithm, or is it feeding off of you?
Come on,
you know, and so, you know, just ask yourself these questions so that you can just, you know, clean it up. It's not like, oh, you're wrong. And it's like, just, you know, pivot, make an adjustment. You know, what I want to do now with our, you know, kind of as we start to land this plane, I actually want to go into like,
I haven't even got to the good part.
Oh,
yet.
no, this is about to, no, hold on. We got time. I'm just telling the audience.
That was like pre-phase one.
Bro, first of all, I tell people all the time.
Yeah.
So let me tell you, because they know.
Yeah.
If somebody's worth interviewing once, they're worth interviewing twice.
Yeah.
Okay. And for me, I really want to start a global conversation with people who matter. You know, so, you know, there's people that are on here who, for me, I want them on continually because, you know, we're shaping the world in practice. And then there's a level that we elevate our wisdom because of our assessment from all we learned from our practice. Yeah. You know, we do it for a year and we learn a bunch of stuff on how to do it better. And then we get wiser and we got more recipes to add to the mix, you know? Yeah. And so we'll always be in the infinite ascent. That's why Seeing Greatness is an infinity logo.
That's right. Yeah.
And so, man, yes, bro, 9 hours.
Yeah, bro.
Okay. And then, and what I feel most led to do now in this moment is like a little 15-minute master class. Yeah. And what I wrote down is, again, we're on this pathway of like phase one, you know, you got to know the long game, your purpose, who you are. Yeah. Phase two, you got to determine, am I at the expert phase or am I at the student phase? I mean, and knowing that I'm always a student, we're just using language to describe like, hey man, have I been doing this for 20 years and already got testimonials and ripped it and all this stuff? Or am I like, think I'm gonna go blow up and go viral, but I actually need to like learn how to like do a post, collect an email address. You know what I'm saying? And so let's just say we're talking to the 1% right now. Yeah. And this is like our people. Yes. You know this, and everybody's our people, but this is like Yes. LeBron just walked into the room.
Yeah.
You know, I call them baby LeBrons or whatever.
Baby
you know,
LeBrons.
baby LeBrons. You know, I prefer Kobe's and Jordans, but it's cool.
Yeah.
You know, baby Jordan number 23 just walked through the door. You're like, yeah. And most times they don't know it.
Yeah.
Most times they don't know it. Sometimes they do.
Yeah.
And they just don't know how to get out there. Let's give them, and what I wrote down is this is a 15-minute master class of how you go from being best at to best known.
Yeah.
Oh, that's so good. This is how you go from being best at
to best known.
to best known.
Yeah. So number one, you got to identify, well, what do you want to be known for? I think that's the biggest thing, because like a lot of people come in that are experts, and they have, if you're an expert and you've been doing it for a long time, you have so many ideas and there's so many voices and so many different paths you could take, you know, and my job is to narrow that down and bring a lot of clarity when you're first starting, when you're first like, okay, I'm on the path to being known, right? My question is, well, what do you want to be known for? And then my second question is, what do you think it's going to take for you to be known for that? How many videos do you think it's going to take? How many posts do you think it's going to take? How many conversations do you think it's going to take? How many stages do you think it's going to take? How, right? Because if your desire is to be known as the expert, the follow-up question is like, well, to be known for that, how much input do you have? Do you think you have to put in? And a lot of people come short because they're like, well, I posted this week. Right?
I put the trending audio though.
Right? I use the hashtags. I use the trending audio. I used all the things that they were telling me, and I got 3 views. And they were all my mom, my sister, and my, you know, like the idea though is like, for me, whenever I work with people, the first thing I tell them, the KPI is, can you pump out 100 videos? If you can't do it, I don't think you're the expert. Because people think they're experts, but they can't talk about the thing longer than they think. Like, if you can't talk about something every single day for the rest of your life, I don't think you're the expert, because like experts are super nerdy and they get super obsessed. If you're the expert, you have an obsession, you know?
I know.
Like, you have, like crazy. So my question is like, what are you obsessed about? And it's not just like I fiddle faddle. Like, I don't just tinker with the idea of, you know, so I got some people that are like, I'm an AI expert. I'm like, what do you use? First of all, AI's only been, how could you actually be an expert if it's being built right now? Like, it's only been around not even a decade. Like, how are you an expert at that? Like, we're all learning. We're all, just be honest, we're all learning about this thing.
I'm an expert at the thing that was just invented.
How could you put on a master class of something that's just been invented yesterday?
And all the people who know are the real, they're like 60 because they've been like building it. And they're like, I've been doing this for 20 years, bro.
Be like, yo, you're an expert.
That's marketing. They're mad at that. And they're mad at all the marketers that are completely branding the thing to keep it from the real conversation of what they're building. But go ahead, bro. Okay,
you're an expert student. Like,
wow.
I think, like, I don't know, man. But those are real honest questions. Like, you got to be brutally honest about who you are and where you're at, instead of saying, well, this is what I want to be. You got to stop that language of like, well, this is what I want to be, and this is what I want to be perceived as. And this, okay, close the gap. Like, what are you actually good at? What are you actually obsessing over? What keeps you up at night? What are the things at 2 a.m. you wake up and you write down in your journal next year? Like, what are those things? Tell me about those things. I want to get honest, because like, that's your superpower. That's your uniqueness. And if you're trying to be X, Y, and Z, I'm like, well, how do I differentiate you from the thousands of other gurus, thousands of other people that want to be speakers, that want to launch a thing, that want to do all this? And I think, you know, what I do, my biggest superpower is creating differentiators.
Okay.
Right? My biggest superpower is like, tell me about your story. Tell me about who you are. I don't care about you want to be on TED X, you want to do all these, like those are all just like kind of like byproducts of you actually finding your voice.
Yes.
You actually finding your message.
Yes.
You actually uncovering and unlearning and relearning and doing the, you know, the work.
Yes.
Those are all just byproducts because you've invited people to that journey of being like, hey, I'm an expert at this, but I'm relearning this.
Yes.
Right. I want to do that in public. And that's scary because judgment and perception and like, I remember just being Asian, right? Putting my things out there back in the day. Like, I'm leaving it open for people to publicly comment. And those comments are agnostic. They're either going to be positive or negative. Right. But it's so funny if you put out a video and you get 100 people saying, I love this. And then one person says, this is garbage. How much do we focus on that one comment that completely is like, I quit. I want to quit.
Negative bias all the time.
Negative all the time.
Yeah.
But wait a minute, 100 people just said that they loved it.
I know. Was it good enough though? Because the one person.
Yeah. That one person that has a great profile photo that has
now here's the thing though. Here's the thing. I'll spin it and help somebody though.
Yeah.
Because one of the things that people told me was that like, so stop worrying about the one. But I couldn't. I just couldn't.
Yeah.
I was pissed. Yeah. And some might say because I was a people pleaser. And I believe that I did struggle with that big time. And I probably still do. But for whatever reason, I care about the one.
Yeah.
The good shepherd leaves the 99 and finds the one.
Yeah.
And so like, I feel like this tension we're describing is the exact reason why my TEDx talk did 2.1 million views in a year and a half, because one of the things that happened when it hit 60,000 views is that there was this whole realm of opinionated people that called me Uncle Tom or Sam or whatever. I don't even know. I had to Google it, what that means. And then they were like, saying I was the white man's puppet. Oh my God. And then, so I'm like, what are they talking about? Right. Like, why are they so angry? This is I mean, it wasn't like I really don't think it was that great of a talk, but it was a great sentiment to the world. Like, I feel like my heart was in the right place. And I went and watched the talk and I said, I was telling the story of how I was teased for being a black kid that talks and acts white. Yeah. And then I told how I overcame that. I became, you know, successful. And I said, the same thing that rejected me was the very thing that made me successful. I said, I actually am still the same guy that talks and acts white. I said, and it enables me to speak to executives in the boardroom and speak to gang members in the streets. Yeah.
What does white people talk like?
Right. I understand. You know. Hey, listen! I worked at Central Michigan University, and I was a fundraising solicitor. You know, I raised money. I'd be like, "Hi, my name is Darryll." Hey, I promise you, I raised infinitely more money when I used my white voice than when I said, "Hey, man, I'm just calling to update your information." They'd be like, "What the? No, this Negro." But the moment I was like, "Hello, my name is Darryll. I'm calling from Central Michigan University. I'm calling to update your information." Is that okay?
Oh
like,
my gosh.
Yes. And I was like, "Ooh, raise money. Here's $1 million or $1,000 or $100,000." And I was like, "Really?" Because I sound trustworthy. Yeah. And I sound trustworthy because the media says that's what trustworthy sounds like. Even if I sound so smart and that I can scam and embezzle the company. Okay, sorry. All right, rant over. Let's get back to track. 15-minute masterclass. Yeah. Has now been expanded to 18 minutes for the rant. 18 minutes. Okay, sorry if we didn't close the loop. That was my fault. I have a problem not doing that, but don't you want this 15-minute masterclass? Yeah. Okay, cool. So, how we go from being best at to best known. Number one, we got to ask ourselves, what do you want to be known for? Yeah. Number two, oh, you beastie, bro. What is it going to take to be known for that? Yeah. Wow. Number one, what do you want to be known for? Number two, what is it going to take to be known for that? Yeah. And then how many stages, how many videos, how much money.
Yes.
And then one of the challenges is like, hey, can you make 100 videos, Mr. Expert, Mrs. Expert? Okay. And let's just say the answer is yes. We made 100 videos. We can make 100 videos. We're making 100 videos. What are we doing now? Where is your mind going now with this brand management process?
Yeah. So in that 100 videos, it's not about getting to the 100. It's about actually refining your message.
I believe that. Yes.
Right. Everything on the journey to 100 videos is about you being confident.
Yeah.
Right. So that 100 videos is actually a confidence builder. Can you say the thing that when you first started out, it took 47 pages, but can you dwindle it down to 3 sentences? Right. So in that 100 videos journey, you're going to find out how to refine your message. And after that, well, you just want to crank it up. You just want to amplify it. Now, when you're doing that, you know and understand what it takes to make 100 videos. You either on camera building that confidence where you could talk confidently, feeling like you're just talking to a friend and you're figuring tricks out. You're trying to figure out your cadence. You're trying to figure out, like your points and getting from one thing to the next and doing it in a short amount of time because of attention span. Are you able to do that? And the next thing is like, all right, well, now that you're there, what do you need to learn, or who do you need to bring around you to amplify that, to scale that? And now you're able to teach somebody to be like, all right, I'm going to bring, someone on the team, or I'm going to do this. And I already got 100 videos. So I could plug that into the system. I could plug it in and be like, this is my voice. This is my cadence. This is my brand. This is the thing. And then you can now delegate, right? Because here's the thing.
What's the minimum viable team if they're at that point?
Shredder. One person.
Shredder.
I would say
everybody says that. I don't like.
And here's the thing. I'm
okay.
gonna
Go ahead, because I'm gonna debate on this one.
Yeah,
come on, say it. Cool.
Yeah.
Say Shredder.
The
okay,
reason why you need a Shredder on your team, because some people are like, I need a social media manager. That's a loaded kind of title. Because when you say social media manager,
you mean everything?
No, I literally like when I hear like literally like I look at like resumes and all that stuff and like job postings, all that stuff, and everyone's posting they need a social media manager, and I'm like, your job requirement isn't that. You need an editor, a videographer, a lighting person, an audio person, a copywriter, someone to publish on social media and distribute all your stuff. They need to be an expert at formatting. They need to be an expert at hooks. They need to be an expert at this. I'm like, dude, it's like, I need a project manager. I need this person. You're actually trying to put, it's like, sorry, but it's like when churches make hires, like when they hire a youth director or a youth pastor, but then they're also the worship leader, and they're also the graphics guy that's running the back, back of house, and then they got to run audio. It's just like that. And here's the thing, you're bottlenecking, and you're actually causing burnout for your team. So no wonder why your churn is so high. When everybody doesn't want to work with you, they're like, oh, this is exciting. You're excited. You get them excited for a month. And then after that month too, they're like, yeah, I'm out. Like, why did they ghost you? All right. Why did they stop working? Why did they stop getting passionate about what, you care about? Because you're using them instead of seeing them and giving them the resources to thrive and succeed in their craft. Because you know what I mean? Like creatives are
using them instead of seeing them. Fire. Right. Oh my God.
And the thing is, like, you haven't done your due diligence, or the financial part is like, you haven't actually set things up for success so that they could succeed at what they do, because they have a unique superpower too. Right? You have your lane, which is what you're great at as an expert, but you didn't go to school to be a marketing person. You didn't go, get a degree in filmmaking or anything to make things. So like these elements that you add on are going to help scale and help build your brand. But the thing is, like, you need to also build things around to protect that system and protect people. If you want to grow, learn, if you're saying like, hey, I got to do this for the next decade, and that's all, then you want to keep those people. And when you find them, you want to keep them, and you want to keep them happy and feel seen and feel heard, feel loved, and let them thrive in their lane, because that's what they're there for.
All right. So I want to debate you on the Shredder thing. I'm not going to do that right now. I'm just going to let it be true.
Yeah.
It's your podcast today. Yeah. And here's the $1 million question. First of all, what's a Shredder? Where do you find the Shredder? And not the wannabe Shredder, fake Shredder.
Yeah. So
Opus Shredder.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. Yeah, dude. So a Shredder, my term is this: they're a shooter and editor. Okay. Right? They are 2 in 1. They shoot, they edit, they shoot to edit. Right? But they're like the 1%, because here's the thing: if you're gonna find a Shredder, they're probably already like they're like a freelancer or something like that, right? And they're like, okay, but they're a freelancer that figure out that they probably need a job because they're terrible at business.
It's hard to sell. It's a lot.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. So like to have a dedicated shredder on your team, like you're probably, first of all, that investment's going to be between 50 to 80K a year, right? If you're going to really, really grind.
50 to 80K.
Yeah.
Okay.
So like that's the top line investment. You're like, yo, because that's going to keep someone like sustained and being like, all right, I'm all in. Like, I'm not going to take any side hustle stuff. I'm not going to, you know, do all this stuff. Like they're actually dedicated.
You know what the entrepreneurs are going to say? Can we get them to take less by faith? You know, can we get 25? Can we get 20 promise? Rest on results. Come on. We're all entrepreneurs here. I'm just
performance based. Can we like, you know,
this is real. This is the
real thing.
This is the real thing in this industry.
Yeah,
it is real.
And here's the thing though, like if you're not ready to invest that kind into a shredder, and why I say shredder first, because you are able to be yourself and do your thing while someone is a fly on the wall and making you look greater than you are. Right? Making you look sexier than you are, making you look smarter than you are. Because they're going to find things. A great shredder will find like things about you that they could amplify and chop up and put it everywhere, right? And the thing is, too, if you think your shredder is also going to be your social media manager and publisher, that's going to work for like 3 months. And they're going to get burned out because they're wearing too many hats. And that's when you bring in like, hey, I could probably, and if you're in a budget, you could probably bring in a VA that could just take what they're making and publish online for $5 to $10 an hour, right? They don't have to be on site to publish for you. They could be overseas, right? And the thing is like, if you have a solid shredder though, you're in your element and someone is capturing everything and they're organizing everything and they're showcasing you in such a light, right? Where if you just got someone else that's virtual or something like that, they can't capture, they can't see, they're not there, you know, to capture those things or see things that no one else can. And they're thinking about the editing process. So they're shooting things because they know what they're going to do with it and they know how they're going to present it. And that also builds consistency over time. So if you have a style or a look or that shredder is going to bring that to the forefront and be like, yo, I'm going to keep this thing clean, consistent, concise. And that's what you want, consistency over time, right? If you bring in a bunch, if you're piecemealing things and duct taping things, your brand's gonna feel off. And people are like, well, what's up with this? Like he was posting Canva posts one day and the next day he's posting iPhone footage and the next day he's posting this. There's no consistency with the brand and people wanna know, like, and trust you, right? So that's why I'm like, yo, hire a shredder.
So you get a shredder, you get a VA to manage it. That'll solve your first cash flow wave.
Yeah.
Now you're cooking. You got some consistent leads coming in. Give us another 5 minutes, bro, of like, so what happens at this phase?
Well, I think, number one, I think people will give pushback, right? When it comes to like, well, do I got to do that? Well, the thing is too, like you've been influenced by gurus and social media people and like successful entrepreneurs. But what the entrepreneurs won't tell you is that they have a freaking team.
Oh yeah, for sure, bro.
They made the hire. They invested 6 figures into their team to show up and do the thing while they do their thing. And they don't talk about what happens in the beginning. And what happens in the beginning is obviously you're going to DIY. You're going to DIY your first 100 videos because you got to know your voice, you get all those things. But they don't tell you about bringing on or hiring people in their first 3 fires that they had to make until they found a D-Rock or something like that. They don't ever talk about the mistakes that they made with building their team that's rolling the ride or dies that are like, oh, they're going to help me build this brand. Right. So like, I think too, the whole mystique about it is like, you're going to have to hire and fire people in the very beginning and figure out who's working and what makes them feel passionate about what they are continuing to do. And obviously they're going to want to grow out of it and work with more people. And so you got to figure out too, the transitions, like, all right, you're transitioning from this to this phase to that phase. So you got to figure out ahead of time, like, what if your shredder one day is like, all right, like, I'm out. Then what do? Where do you find another shredder? Where do you place that person?
Yeah.
So you have to dial in your systems of like, hey, this is the system that I create. Because it's not about just your skill. It's about, you follow your systems.
Yep.
Right. Dan Martell talks about that all the time.
Yep.
So in this, what systems are you actually creating? What content system have you developed? You know, if you can't afford a shredder, have you actually invested in your own gear and be like, all right, well, I'm just going to film myself on coaching calls. I'm going to film myself doing this, and I'm going to send that to just an editor. And maybe you hire a remote editor who's just cooking it up, and then they could just post it for you. There's many ways to do it.
I'm with you. Yep, I'm with you, bro.
But
But let's just say, ideally, though, they've got the person, the shredder, that's they're making 80K. The VA, they've got them, they're paying them, you know, $20, $25 an hour because I want to pay VAs more. It's fine. You know, they're actually, you know, turning that, you know, overseas into a place of ministry opportunity. You know, like it's not that much more money to get somebody to edit it. And so then they're doing that, right? And then I hear systems. There's a big need to get clear documented systems so that you're more intentional and strategic with what you're doing.
SOPs.
Who else do you need on this team as it scales, or is that enough for multiple seven?
Yeah, I think to build an actual content system, obviously you need someone producing the content. You need I have a project manager for every single thing that we do, because they're moving the needle. They're setting due dates. They're making sure that things are getting done and getting out there. So someone to manage those projects. Obviously, you probably need someone to publish and stuff, so you take that off the plate, you know? So, like, it's a big department. It's the creative department. But then once you're at a place where you're like, actually, this is returning my investment, right? You're actually going to start scaling your team. You're going to probably add another shredder, add another editor, because you're now going to get into the volume game, right? So the volume game now is like, you think someone is going to make more money by putting out 1 video a day or 20 videos a day? That's attention, that's awareness, right? So like that, if you're in that phase, you're at the scaling phase of volume, right?
So if that's the volume phase, because it's interesting, I think some people would feel like starting is volume. It's just like 100 videos, right? But what would you call the entry phase?
The entry phase?
Yeah, if that's the volume, what's entry? Because how I hear volume is like, now you're ready to actually pour gas and get it out there because you have like a firm foundation. What do you call the other phase?
The pre-phase towards that? Dude, that's calling establishing the brand phase, right? Like, so you're actually establishing what you're known for, and you're repeating it all the time. It's actually a psychological effect called the mere exposure effect, or the familiarity effect. So if people see you, hear you talk about things over that's in that ecosystem of like why it makes sense to you, you know, maybe you talk about business, maybe you talk about operations, maybe you talk about whatever it is, you know, now people are actually seeing that consistently over time. And then they're moving from awareness to discovery, where I'm discovering who you are. And then they are moving next to the next phase, which is called consideration. I'm considering to work with them. I'm considering what their product or service is about. And you're moving them down that, what we call funnel, right? And it's actually called the stranger to super fan kind of journey, right? So if we could move them with content, but that pre-phase, when you have your shredder and you're starting to put out consistent content over time, you are in this sweet spot of, this is what I'm being known for now. And then when you move to that next phase of like scale, you become the person that is known for this thing.
It's good. Woo, man. Oh my God, I'm so upset right now. I want so much more time. I want so much more time, dude.
More episodes.
But that's why you're my guy, bro. That's why we talk for real, right? But what I like about this setting environment, it makes us put the professional hat on more, you know? And I'm like, hey, we probably need to do the professional hat more. Just land the plane, bro. Let people know how they can find you. And then just any, like, I understand you got a lot you could say, but like any last thing that you want to say, you know, just to the people we're trying to serve.
Yeah. I think number one, what I would leave this, if you took anything for this podcast, it would be this: know that you are designed by God and that you have a mission and assignment here on earth. And it is your job to find out what that is, and your uniqueness and your voice and your message. That's your job. How to communicate, how to express everything that he's put inside of you. And whether you're a student or an expert, you're always going to be learning how to communicate everything that he's put in you. And literally, if you see that and understand that, you're going to understand then it's not about winning tomorrow. It's about winning the next decade and decade after that and decade after that. People, you got to start thinking in decades. It's going to take time, right? This quick win that social media, that this phone has created, this anxiety that we have in our pockets that just fill us up with stress and anxiety and be like, I'm not winning because my competitors are getting so much more views than me. They're getting so much more followers and I'm better than that. Why is that, right? Where you're like, I could TED talk that person. Why do they got a big following? Why? It's because they're putting the reps in. They're putting the reps in while you're just thinking about it. Sorry, right? They're actually taking action and they're building in public and they're making mistakes in public and you're afraid because you can't get over your own way. You can't get out of your own way to be like, you know what? Punch perfection in the face, hit record and hit publish and build in public. Get to that 100 videos, feel comfortable with your message, know who you are, find your uniqueness, shape your voice, and continue to do that for the next decade.
I told you. I told you it was gonna be fire. I told you. And if you just caught the tail end, I'm telling you, you gotta go to the back and catch the whole episode. And you better just scroll all the Seeing Greatness episodes. Where'd he come on next? And follow on all social platforms, John.
At John Mediana.
Yeah, you gotta spell
me,
it.
Diana.
Yeah. You gotta spell it for the audio, bro.
Yeah. Mediana. It's media's in my last name, so I felt like God designed me for this.
He did.
You know what I mean? That's all I'm saying. John John.
Oh, he set you up for the.
Yeah, I was designed, bro. I was designed. I know that.
Dang. He just called me Darryll. Dang. Oh, yeah, Stinson. There you go.
Hey, son, let's go.
Hey. Okay, son, there you go.
Yeah.
Just made something up. Validate my skill. Bro, that's dope.
Yeah.
I remember you saying that before, but it's still dope.
Yeah.
Y'all, find lots of stuff to take away, man. Punch perfection in the face.
Yeah.
Like,
You got to.
just go do it. Let us know how you're doing that. Tag us in some content. You know, if it's dope, we reshare it. Okay, and that's how we sow seeds of greatness into the world. So thank you for tuning in. We appreciate you. We love you. Subscribe, connect, share, and man, keep putting your message out there to the world.
Peace.